Hey guys, what we're gonna take a look at today is basically the problem called valid palindrome. So this is a very common interview question asked by a lot of companies recently, and this is such a cool practice for you to get yourself familiarized with, I guess, the string manipulation problem. So let's take a look at the definition of palindrome. So what is a palindrome? Palindrome is a series of string that you can read both from front end and the back end. So what I'm saying is you can either read it backward or reverse way, but that um, string still stays the same as when you read it in a right order. So, for example, a man, a plant, a candle, Panama. This is a true palindrome because once you read from the back, a man, a plan, a candle, Panama. As you see, but race a car is race a car, raise a there's an e in this will like throw off this problem is on palindrome. So what we want to do to solve this problem is basically we're going to probably use a two pointer indexing, and then we want to use this pointer to actually solve this problem. So first we're going to start with the beginning index, which will start from the very beginning, which will be incremented from the point of very beginning of the string, and the last index will be decremented from the at the end of this string. So the way you solve this problem is I'll tell you. So public class, I can say palindrome or palindrome, right? And what you want to do inside is basically call a public boolean is palindrome. So defining a method which will take one string in Java. As you see, when you define a function slash a method in Java, this is sort of you write it. Public means you can get access from other element. Boolean means it's gonna return it's a boolean true or value. So it's gonna this method is gonna show us whether this given fed string is a palindrome or not. So I'm gonna say int I equals 0, which is the beginning index, and int j equals the last index. In this case, it's gonna be s dot length minus 1, because if the length is, as you see, what I'm saying is like banana string s, let's say, right, banana, then how many letters are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 letters, right? So the length is 6, but as you see, the index, right? The index is it's gonna start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So last index here is the length minus 1. So that's how you understand this problem. So I'm gonna start algorithm by incrementing I and j, but in this case while loop is very useful because we can keep going while loop until we fail this condition. So while I is smaller than j, which means the beginning index is still smaller than the j, which is the last index, then I want to implement as following. The next condition that we want to check is, as you notice here, there are a lot of special characters such as the comma and colon and also empty space. Once either the I or J bump into this empty space special character, we want to ignore it, and we just want to like keep moving on. The way you do it is you can use a character dot is letter or digit in Java, and then you can check, hey, I'm gonna check the char at I index position of the key. Is that a character, is a letter or digit? If that's not letter or digit, means if this is kind of a space or any special character, right, then I want to just ignore it and increment I. So the way you do it is also adding a while loop, as you see here, because once you face um, the space or a special character, I want to increment I. Okay? So does, okay? Um, this so I can exactly write parallel while if you bump into a J, I want to decrement J to the middle. Does it make sense? So I'm gonna start from J here, and I'm keep decrementing one step. Oh, empty space. Okay, ignore, and keep decrementing. If I start from I, okay, space, and ignore, and keep incrementing. So I guess you can probably stick these two lines as just one line. If you were to say if it's I or car is a J is not a character, but I'm just using it this way to make it as more straightforward way for you to understand it. And then the next way you do it is, so at this position, at this line, once they hit this line, it's basically like both 2 pointers are pointing to the right character that we want to compare. If that makes sense? Does it make sense to you? So right now we all kind of regard, with regard to special in space, special characters in space, we just like keep moving on. So I want to say if character dot to lowercase and s dot char at I. So I want to make everything as lowercase. If that is not equal to character dot to lowercase, I'm gonna make all the lowercase because this can be case sensitive, but I want to convert everything, right? S dot char at j. If they are not equal, what we want to do here, right? Basically, is we want to return what? We want to return false because they're not palindrome. Because we want them to be perfectly symmetrical, right? And then we want to increment I, and we want to decrement j, and then it's gonna hit this while loop, which is the auto while loop, and then it's gonna keep going and checking kind of this process sequentially. Does it make sense to you? And after you got out of this while loop, which means right now I either crosses j or I is larger than j, now we finished all checking like symmetrically. Now we want to return true. Okay, so this is sort of the is palindrome structure, as you may notice. Right now, we want to print out our result and see what we can get here. So public static void main in Java and string args. Okay, and what you want to do here is basically you can instantiate on one case of problem here. So a palindrome a equals, let's say, new again, I mean, it doesn't matter, but like I want to instantiate this one class and check, right? New palindrome, and then the way you do it is you want to print out the how do you get access from this instance to the method, right? It's a dot notation in Java, which is very useful. So p dot is palindrome, and in the string I want to just feed into this string and check, and I'm expecting what? The result of this string. Is it palindrome? Yes, so I'm expecting true here, and I want to print out this result, print ln. So hopefully that returns something that I'm expecting. Ooh, a lot of problems. Okay, what are I got some typos here. I got some, okay, let me see. Let me one by one. So cannot find symbol. Okay, character, that's one typo here. And then it's not equal to s dot char at, so chart at, I'm sorry, it's a char at, also typo. Palindrome, I'm sorry, it should be a palindrome, right? Palindrome. All the time you should watch out for typo. Hopefully that will execute. You cannot find symbol, palindrome, I'm sorry, there were two n. Oops, stay on this page. Palindrome. So these are called debugging process, which is very important. True. So what if we feed race a car, right? It should be returned false, hopefully. False. Okay, what about like Anna, which is, we can read Anna from the front end, the backward is still the Anna in the right order. True, that's true. Okay, cool. And another thing that I want to point out is before, you don't need these two lines, you can just add it inside, so they can all kind of sequentially compare. I can just comment it out. So what this line is doing is, okay, I'm gonna change it to the character of position I index and then compare it with the position of j, but after you finish it, I want increment I and I decrement j, and I keep kind of comparing it as you see here. So that's how you do it. So which is j I equals I plus 1, j equals j minus 1. So after you finish this code, it's going to go up here, and then once this line hits here again, the I is going to be already incremented by 1, j is going to be decremented by 1. So that's the cool way to understand it. So Anna is a true. I just want to keep double checking whether my input is right or wrong, you know. So this is okay. Let me see. True, that's a good. What about race a car? Hopefully that's also working. I hope. Race a car. Yep, that works. So thank you for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed my video and subscribe my explanation. Please leave some comments if you are still curious about these points, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.